Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Sam, and today I'm going to be doing my first video that has to do with my plans for 2026. Now, this video is going to be one that I don't think I've done before, and it's going to be the 13 series, because 13 is half of 26. The 13 series that I would like to finish and or catch up on in the year 2026. I'm going to start with the ones that I have either started or need to restart, basically. So there's a couple that I've started that I don't need to restart, and then there's two series that I've read at least part of the first book and I just need to restart because it's been way too long. I'm going to start with some easy ones. The first one being Delicious in Dungeon by Ryoka Kui. This is a manga and it is an anime as well. We are not caught up on the anime, nor am I caught up on the manga. I think I have the first 15 volumes of this. I'm not exactly sure how many are out. I will continue to collect them as I read them. I am on volume 10 though, I believe right now, and I would really like to catch up. So this follows a crew of dungeon crawlers, essentially, like a D&D kind of setup, and we have our knight, we have a mage, and we have a thief, and they end up hiring a chef, and he goes with them, and they delve into the dungeon in order to try and find the knight's younger sister who has been eaten by a dragon. And their goal is to find her before she is digested by said dragon. And the plot kind of goes from there. This is a lot about, like, monsters in a dungeon setting. It's really, weirdly, the first several volumes were very cozy. I really did enjoy it. As I've gotten on, it gets more and more almost political, and it's getting more and more complicated, and I'm curious where it's going to go. So I do want to continue this one. I'd like to catch up and be able to keep up and do my pre-orders of each of the mangas as they come out, because I was really enjoying the series. The next one is also a manga series, and this should come as no surprise. This is Spy X Family by Tetsuya Endo. I have not caught up on the manga or the anime of this one. The anime was doing an amazing job of following the manga. I loved that. And this was so much fun. This has been one that has been on and off all year for people absolutely loving it. This follows Master Spy Twilight, who is assigned a mission for his country in order to infiltrate a school, and he needs to befriend the headmaster in order to try and gain political allegiance with him of some sort. And so basically he has to infiltrate a school, which means he needs a child, so he goes and adopts a girl who happens to be psychic, and he finds himself a wife who happens to be an assassin for the other country that they're at war against. And it is all about these three very dysfunctional people trying to find a way to become a family while they're all pretending to be a family. It's so cute, honestly. I'm doing a bad job of describing how cute it is, but it is very sweet. And we kind of see their history as we're going through the story, what's happened in the past. And we see as these people slowly figure out what a family actually is. And I absolutely adore this series. Would highly, highly recommend. And the last series that I have started that I know I want to finish next year, there are other ones that I would like to finish or catch up on. These are kind of my main ones of books that I physically own. So I feel like I need to, like, preface that. Dungeon Crawler Carl. I have read the first 4 books of Dungeon Crawler Carl. I stopped because I was getting married and couldn't focus on plots. And now I would like to continue. I would like to catch up. Book 8, I believe, comes out next year, so I'd like to be able to be caught up by the time book 8 comes out, which is 4 more volumes. That's not too bad. I just gotta prepare to have my heart ripped out, apparently. And John is all caught up. He absolutely loves this one, so he has been trying to get me to read these as well. I absolutely loved the first 4 books in this series. So Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinneman. For any of you who have not seen this anywhere, this follows Carl, who is watching his ex-girlfriend's cat one night. When the cat jumps out the window, he follows the cat out, and it just happens to be the time when aliens decide to invade our planet and basically flatten every single building in the world, killing anyone inside. And so Carl and any survivors are invited into dungeons that delve deep into the core of the earth in order to basically act as pawns on a game show for the rest of the cosmos. And it's very much a political leaning book, but it is told as if as if you're playing a video game, which is honestly so much fun. It is campy, it is enjoyable though. It takes a little bit to get into because Carl is kind of a weird character, but I have to give him credit. He has the most realistic reactions to a lot of things going on. Like, aliens invaded the world and he's just like, I don't want to be here. I would like to go back, please. Like, please no. And it's just so much fun. Highly enjoy it, and I have fallen in love with these characters so much, and I cannot wait to continue with this one. Now, there are 2 series that I have technically started, but I'm gonna have to restart them. The first one being Empire of the Vampire by Jay Kristoff. I read the first like 150 pages of this book. Maybe, I don't even know if I read that much, and I realized I was not in a mental state to read this type of book, so I put it down. I did not finish it, and that was when it first came out in 2021, so 4 years ago. So we're gonna restart this. We're gonna try again now that it's completed, I believe. I believe it's a trilogy, and the third one just came out. So I own the first 2. There are 2 different versions because the second one was... Is it a Waterstones edition? Might have been, but I can't order Waterstones right now, which happens. Yay. But I do want to read this one. This is a vampire story. I don't remember exactly what it's about, but we are told this story from the point of view of a prisoner after vampires have taken over his kingdom, essentially, and he is the last of these holy saints that are trying to fight vampires. So it is told from his point of view, so I'm very curious to see how that goes. The other series that I would like to catch up on, or well, finish, because it is a completed series, and that is going to be the Keepers series by David Dalglish. The first book is Soul Keeper, and I have the other 2. They're right here. They're also pretty next to each other. I read this book. I read the first half of Ravencaller, which is the second book. I did not pick up Voidbreaker, or I did not start it at all because I didn't finish Ravencaller yet. I need to restart. This was such a ride from what I remember. Basically, we're following a soul keeper, who's basically, he is a preacher and a healer, and he is a traveling one, so he travels throughout the world, and he witnesses the start of basically the apocalypse of his like medieval time world. And what's happening is that all of the magic that was expelled from the world years ago, it's come back, and now all of these monsters and creatures are invading the world, and they would like revenge. And since no one believed this would ever happen, they're not prepared at all, and it's basically them trying to fight off these monsters that are trying to kill them. So I did lie. There's one other series that I have started that I would like to catch up on, but it's going to be quite the undertaking. And that's going to be the Shadow Dance series by David Dalglish. As soon as I said David Dalglish, I realized I forgot to put this one in there. Because I have read this first book, and we have the audiobooks for all the other ones because John loves this series. And I do actually want to read this one. I think this one will be a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this first book. This is basically an assassin story, and it follows... In this first book, we follow Aaron, who is the son of the head of an assassin family of sorts, like an assassin group. And he is trying to figure out if he wants to follow in his father's footsteps or not, and all of the ways that his father is basically grooming him to become the next like top assassin, and Aaron's thoughts on that. I really enjoyed this first book. It is the second time I've read A Dance of Cloaks, but we do also have A Dance of Blades physically, so I do plan on picking up the rest of this series at some point next year. Now we're going to move on to the series that I have not started, and I do have one bonus book, but I'll get to that one at the end. So I'm in no particular order. I'm just going to pick them up basically in the order that I took them off the shelves. So the first series is going to be, so this is the Saber Security series by J. Rose. I picked this up at, I believe it was a Polycon this year. It is a trilogy that I do have. It is a reverse harem romance. And each of the chapters does have a song that goes with it, which is why I haven't picked it up yet, because I actually want to listen to the song while I'm reading said chapter, because it's good music. But basically, let me just read the back of these ones for you, because some of these series I know about, some of these other ones, I just know that this is dark and I believe it's a crime thriller, hence the, yeah. And she basically sold me on this one at her table, which is why I purchased the whole trilogy. So there we go. In therapy, they tell you to use your senses. List the things you know. Sermons recited with malice, a blood-soaked ritual, the sting of tears and gasping sobs of the dying, rotting flesh. I grew up in a cage, tortured by the Lord Almighty's most twisted servant. Death and despair became my close companions as I watched years of slaughter at Pastor Michael's hands. 18 girls dead, 18 lives ended, 18 futures stolen. After years of captivity, I don't recognize the world I'm suddenly thrust into. The road in front of me is lined with corpses demanding vengeance from beyond the grave. I escaped, but they didn't. Now I have to live for them. Saber's security offers me a lifeline in the dark. They want to find the killer before another girl dies, but their protection comes with a price. My soul must be excavated, one sinful memory at a time. The hunter will become the hunted. So it sounds like it's like a security romance, but it is reverse harem. So multiple men, one female, and they're trying to find a serial killer. This is the kind of, I don't know why serial killer, like hunt down the serial killer kind of romances. They work for me. I am a fan. So I'm going to give this one a shot, see how I like it. I do reserve the right with any of these to stop at any point if I decide I don't like them, but I'm hoping to get through them. Next one is one that is a long time coming, and I don't think I'll actually catch up because this is a long book. It is a long series. The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. This is the first book. This is, I believe this is just part one. Yeah, this is book one of the Stormlight Archives. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna see if I can dive into the Stormlight Archives and what happens. This series, this book is just so chonky. It's just so big. This copy is still under 1,000 pages though, if you'll believe it. It is, I'm not looking at spoilers. Okay, I lied. It's 1,001 pages. I feel like it should be bigger, but these are like thick pages too. Like, actually thick pages, which is interesting. Anyways, I don't know. I would like to dive in because I want to be a fan of this. I want to read all of the books that take place in the comics. I want to read these. I want to understand the hype. So this is a project for next year. On top of that, I would also like to read Mistborn. This copy is so floppy. I can't even hold it up right. This is from what I hear, it's a bit of a lighter story than the Stormlight Archives, also by Brandon Sanderson. And this is the first book in the Mistborn trilogy, obviously. I don't know a lot about it. I am going into these books mostly blind, only knowing that they're high fantasy and that they are very beloved, and I'm very excited for it. But I want to go into Brandon Sanderson a bit blind. That's just how my hair is falling out. That's just how I want to do Brandon Sanderson. The next book is a part of a duology. I do own both of them from Book of the Month, and that is What the River Knows. This is historical fiction, that's what I know. Bolivian-Argentinian Inez Oliveira belongs to the glittering upper society of 19th century Buenos Aires. And like the rest of the world, the town is steeped in old world magic that's been largely left behind or forgotten. Inez has everything a girl might want, except for the one thing she yearns for most, her globe-trotting parents who frequently leave her behind. When she receives word of their tragic deaths, Inez inherits their massive fortune and a mysterious guardian, an archaeologist in partnership with his Egyptian brother-in-law. Yearning for answers, Inez sails to Cairo, bringing her sketchpads and a golden ring her father sent to her for safekeeping before he died. But upon her arrival, the old world magic tethered to the ring pulls her down a path where she discovers there's more to her parents' disappearance than what her guardian led her to believe. With her guardian's infuriatingly handsome assistant thwarting her at every turn, Inez must rely on ancient magic to uncover the truth about her parents' disappearance, or risk becoming a pawn in a larger game that will kill her. The Mummy meets Death on the Nile. That's what I needed to know about this one. So the next 3 books are all series that I have gotten from Broken Binding. The one book box that I do is, other than Book of the Month, that I still subscribe to, the big one. And the first one is going to be the Rift War Saga. Again, I don't know a lot about it, except for this book is absolutely gorgeous and has a lot of magic going on in it. The world has changed even before I discovered the foreign ship wrecked on the shore below Creed Castle, but it was the harbinger of the chaos and death that was coming to our door. War had come to the kingdom of the Isles, and in the years that followed, it would scatter my friends across the world. I longed to train as a warrior and fight alongside our duke like my foster brother. But when the time came, I was not offered that choice. My fate would be shaped by other forces. My name is Pug. I was once an orphan kitchen boy with no family and no prospects, but I am destined to become a master magician. So that's really all this says. This is technically a 3-book series. I have all 3 books. It is completed, and I do know that Raymond E. Feist, I have another book by him, I believe. No, I do not. I keep thinking I do, but it's Michael J. Sullivan I have. Blech. But I know he is a well-loved author, so I am curious. I do want to see what it's all about. And I'm curious about... I love magician stories. This will be fun. The next one, also from Broken Binding, is Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. This is another completed trilogy. A god will return when the earth and sky converge under the black sun. In the holy city of Tova, the winter solstice is usually a time for celebration and renewal, but this year it coincides with a solar eclipse, a rare celestial event proscribed by the sun priest as an unbalancing of the world. Meanwhile, a ship launches from a distant city bound for Tova and set to arrive on the solstice. The captain of the ship, Xiala, is a disgraced teak whose song can calm the waters around her as easily as it can warp a man's mind. Her ship carries one passenger. Described as harmless, the passenger, Serapio, is a young man, blind, scarred, and cloaked in destiny. As Xiala well knows, when a man is described as harmless, he usually ends up being a villain. Yeah, this is just said to be an epic adventure. I absolutely, again, love how this book looks. It is beautiful, and per usual, like, even the underside is beautiful. So I am very excited to read this one, learn a bit more about it, and see where it goes. My camera's gonna die pretty soon, I'm sorry. The last book that I have on this list, before the bonus one, is a completed duology. Just got this one this month. We're gonna go with Kings of the Wild. This is by Nicholas Eames, and this is, like I said, a completed duology. And I have had my eye on this for so long. This is a very different cover than the one people are probably used to seeing, but I love it. I'm so excited. It actually, honestly, has me more excited than the other cover does. The boys are back in town. Clay Cooper and his band were once the best of the best, the meanest, dirtiest, and most feared and admired crew of mercenaries this side of the Heartwild. But their glory days are long past. The mercs have grown apart and grown old, fat, drunk, or a combination of all 3. Then a former bandmate turns up at Clay's door with a plea for help. His daughter Rose is trapped in a city besieged by an enemy horde 100,000 strong and hungry for blood. Rescuing Rose is the kind of impossible mission that only the very brave or the very stupid would sign up for. It's time to get the band back together for one last tour across the wild. I don't know, it sounds like a lot of fun. Sorry if the angle changed, my camera died, so I had to get a new battery. And that does require taking it off the stand and everything. It's annoying. So those are my 13 series that I would like to either catch up on or finish within the year of 2026. We'll see if it happens. I don't think okay, at least start, because I'm now looking at like Way of Kings, and I'm not finishing that series in a year. I don't think. We'll see. I don't know. I don't think I can. Yeah, I think that's a little bit of a lofty goal for me, but you never know. I have a bonus series to add on to the end, and it's one that I will not finish next year, but is one I would like to start and work my way through, probably very slowly. And that's going to be the history of Middle-earth. So this is a series that has been published throughout the years, mostly I believe by J.R.R. Tolkien's son, and it's by Christopher Tolkien, and it's the rest of the history of Middle-earth. So we have the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit and Silmarillion, and we have some of those stories. This is the history of the world. This starts from the very beginning. This which to me is amazing. I love the world that Tolkien built in Lord of the Rings. I think it's incredible, and I really want to delve more into where it came from and what else happened, what brought us to that point, what brought that. I love history, and so playing with this, it's so brilliant in my head, and I'm so excited. I would love to do a whole thing, a whole, like, probably gonna be several years of me trying to read all of these, just because I'm not fast at reading Tolkien, but it's because I try to take my time with it. And I do want to at least start this series. It is, I believe, 13 or 14, somewhere around there, volumes of history, and I have most of them. I'm missing number 8 in this cover, and if there is a last one, I don't know, I don't remember. I'm missing, I think, 1 or 2 volumes total, and this is one that I would like to pick up at some point, because I also got all of my copies from Half Price Books, which is great, and whoever decided to do that, thank you for getting rid of all of your copies. Can I have number 8 now, please? But thank you. I treasure them, I really do. All right. I'm not picking all these up. Oh gosh. Oh, can you handle it, Brandon Sanderson? You're holding up the whole pile. Let's see. Oh, that's... No, okay. Why do I do this to myself? There we go, there they all are. Now you see them, and now you don't, because I'm gonna put them down because that's really heavy. That's my plan. I would like to work on these series, start them, all of that good stuff. Have you read any of these? Please let me know where to start. Please let me know which ones you think I should start with, or which ones I should try and finish first, how you think I should go about it, because I have many ideas and then I fail to put them into action. So I need to work on that. So let me know what you think. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know I'm a little bit all over the place. I'm just kind of like that right now. I'm just all over the place. So if you made it this far in the video, why don't you put, let's do a chicken emoji, because I think there's a chicken emoji. I know that's a cockatrice, or yeah, it's a basilisk. I'm sorry, that's their basilisk. But put a chicken or a snake, one of the two, in the comments, and no context, just that's it. Make everybody wonder. Anyways, that's what I got for you guys here today. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe. It really helps me out in the long run. And until next time, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, keep reading, and keep moving forward. Bye!